I'll take a few minutes and talk about this anchor with you. It has been a game changer for me. I've had it out a few times already on the river in my kayak, and I just want to talk about it, why it's made a difference for me, compare it to some other anchor designs, and then talk about this anchor individually and why it's been helpful for me. Just basically give a little review of the anchor. So as I've gotten into kayak fishing, I've realized that when you're fishing a river, sometimes you just need to stop. And whether it's to stop and change a lure because you don't want to be fighting the current while you're doing that, or to stop and fish a spot really thoroughly that you want to fish. So I started realizing that I wanted to be able to anchor, because a lot of times when you're fishing on a river, the current is taking you past where the fish are and too quickly, and it makes it where you can't really fish it thoroughly. So having the anchor now, I can drop the anchor, I can fish a riffle thoroughly, I can fish cover thoroughly, and I can be stationary and not have to worry about rolling back. I can also stop, change lures. I can focus on changing the lure. I don't have to be constantly looking up and seeing if I'm about to run into some obstacle or something like that. I wasn't using this anchor at the time that I caught this, but I actually just caught my new PB Smallie because I stopped and fished the bottom of a riffle thoroughly, the bottom of a drop very thoroughly. And I threw in, actually, I changed lures first. So stopped to change lures and then threw in and was able to catch a PB Smallie. So that's the kind of impact that an anchor can make. Again, I was just parked on the bank on this one. Um, but having the anchor also can make you be able to fish that thoroughly. The anchor is helpful because there aren't always spots to just pull over or park or something like that. And sometimes you can't because it's private property. So with an anchor, you can just kind of park yourself in the middle of the river and do what you need to do, whether it's fish or change lures. So that's good. When I was researching anchors, I wanted to make sure that I got the right one, because most of the anchors that you see out there, they're like, I think the most popular one is probably the grapnel style or the hook style. So it has like grapnels that come out. I'll throw a picture of it up there. And those do a decent job at stopping you, I think, for most situations. But they can be kind of dangerous because those hooks will grab on things and then you aren't able to pull your anchor back in. So I didn't want to deal with that because those they can flip you, they can do all sorts of things. So I wanted one that would grab but would also release and wouldn't get hung on things. So I found the Mudpuppy anchor actually on John Dalton's channel. When he first started using it, I saw it and I was like, oh, that looks like exactly what I want. So I picked it up and I've been using it. I've had it on 3 different rivers now. And I've been able to use it in pretty strong current on sandy bottoms, smooth rocky bottoms, and gravel bottoms as well. And this thing does what it's advertised to do. It grabs bottoms. So I was able to, even in pretty strong current, I was able to still drop the anchor and hold stationary. And then I was able to pull it right back up when I wanted to move again. When I wanted it to release. I haven't had it snag or hold up or anything like that yet. So I like that this one is safe and effective. I don't feel like I'm in danger every time I put it down in the water, but it does what it needs to do. Yeah, so the way that this is designed is that these individual pieces, it's all built around a spine here, but then the individual pieces rotate around that. So they will grab the bottom. So like if you have a smooth thing, but there's a lip, one of these is gonna grab the lip. Or if you've got a bunch of rocks, it's gonna pull the rocks until there's enough to stop it. So the design of this is really good. Like I said, it's safe, but it's also effective. This is the 6-pound size. I was originally looking at the 4.5-pound size, but Joe, the owner, recommended that I get the 6-pound, and I'm glad he did. I was afraid this one would be too big, but you can see, it's about the size of my hand. I can hold it in my hand, and it's not that big. It's not crazy heavy. But the reason he recommended the 6-pound is because it has this clip built in, where the 4-pound is just a rope basically. And I have an Anchor Wizard, and he said this will work better with Anchor Wizard, and it's phenomenal. It just clip it on and boom, you're good to go. I am going to change. Somebody actually messaged me on Instagram and recommended that I change my Anchor Wizard clip to a locking clip, a twist and lock. So I'm going to do that. I just haven't picked one up yet. So that might be something to think about if you're going to be using this anchor. Also, I'll say I was messaging back and forth with Joe, as I already said, the owner, quite a bit in the whole process of figuring this thing out. And he was always quick to respond, help me out with what I needed, answer my questions, and did a customization for me with my channel logo on there. So I thought that was pretty cool. This thing's made in America, which is cool. It's not something that's just imported from overseas, but it's made in America. It's backed by an American business owner, and he stands behind his product, and he's happy to talk and answer questions and help out his customers. So I appreciate that too. One just note about safety: if you are going to use something like this in current, you definitely want an anchor pulley system or something. I have an Anchor Wizard that's set up on my new canoe, so it drops the anchor off the bow, and you can just drop it and retract it back in. But you want to have it set up in a way that your bow is facing upstream, so that way you don't ever want to turn to the side if you're going to anchor in current, because that's when bad things happen. You'll get flipped, and you could get tangled and twisted in the anchor line. So just be sure, if you are going to do this, that you have an anchor system that's going to keep you safe. And I have the Anchor Wizard, and that's a good one. Recommend it, and it's been good for me. So the bottom line is, if you are somebody who kayak fishes in rivers a lot or in current, I think this is the anchor for you. This is a good anchor. It's going to do what it needs to do. It's going to stop you in current on all sorts of bottoms, and you'll be good to go. So get this, and you won't regret it. And I'm not an affiliate or anything. I just like the product. He did do the customization for me for free in exchange for a review, but he did specify an honest review. And this is an honest review. I really like this and think that it is the best anchor on the market for someone like me that wants to kayak fish in current. So pick it up. You won't be disappointed. And I think it's a good anchor, good deal, good business, and you'll be happy with it. This is so cool. I'm just sitting here, nose up in the current, got my anchor down, Anchor Wizard set up on the new canoe Flint, got the bracket up there, and the Mudpuppy anchor is doing what it's supposed to do, grabbing bottoms. I'm not moving. It is helped me sit here. I've been able to cast upstream. It's been pretty cool. Nice upgrade for sure.